This module on the workings of the Rotax DM9 dynamotor looks at the operation of the brushes, and it is the brushes which are the only part really that the owner can do any maintenance and repair work on. So if we have a look at the inside here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 main brushes. These two are earthed, and these two are the ones that are connected to the main coils inside the casing. Then the so-called fifth brush is the one that's connected to the field circuit, and that is the brush that generates the electromagnetic current that allows the unit to operate as a generator. Those brushes are accessed whilst the machine is on the car by the removal of a flexible band that sits around here, and as you can see, each brush aligns with a particular window. In terms of what one can do, an improvised tool like this little wire allows one to lift the brush spring out of the way, pull up the brush and inspect the brush for wear. What you'll see is there a nice regular shiny face, which is what you want, and that brush is about half worn. The new length is about 1 inch. What is very important indeed is that these brushes can move freely up and down their holder, and therefore they need a good dose of switch cleaner each time you service the dynamotor to flush out any surplus dust. The other thing that is worth checking from time to time is the degree of tension in the spring. With a small scientific balance hooked under here, you can measure, and this should be 16 to 18 ounces of tension. That is adjustable by ratcheting up the spring. It's got 4 or 5 positions of adjustment. If we look at this brush, which is the field brush, we can see that that is a much slimmer brush. It's about half the diameter, and that's its proper full length when it's new. Once again, it's absolutely crucial that that brush is able to move freely up and down in its casing, and should be cleaned when any servicing is done. The adjustment of charging output is made by moving the position of this fifth brush relative to the other brushes around the commutator. And to do that, if you can see on the inside there is a white-headed screw. If you slacken that off, and that allows you to then move this brush holder fractionally either way, and it is fractionally 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch, to increase or decrease the current output. One should aim to be achieving about 10 to 12 amps of output. It's unwise to run at the full 15 amps that these machines can generate. So that's done by moving that fifth brush around the commutator, and it's accessible from underneath. When you've got the position correct, then simply tighten up that screw. Beware of over tightening it, because it's a fairly old aluminium casting in there. Other than that, look for any mechanical problems such as frayed braids or loose attachment screws here. These units handle an enormously high current, and therefore these need to be tight and the braids need to be intact, otherwise you will have a tremendous amount of heat generated inside the unit. And that, and then on the outside it's a broken off grease nipple, and that provides a flow of grease into the front bearing that holds the armature steady inside. And that is the workings of the brush holder system inside the DM9 generator.